If you ever wondered why your mindset is sort of stuck or in this stagnant state of mind, because your mind is very, very crucial to the way you live your life. Now, in today's video, we're going to break down 5 steps in order to improve or enhance your life. Now, these are not perfect, but at the same time, these are a good start or just to change perspective in order to get a more fulfilling lifestyle because it always starts with mindset. This is what this channel is about. Always thinking mindset. So let's go ahead and begin with the first rule. And the first rule is pretty much saying that, you know, your current mindset is keeping you stuck. So with this rule, I know a lot of people that think a certain way, and that's all they ever think is that certain way, right? Very narrow minded, not open to experiences, pretty much don't care about whatever other people think, which is okay. The thing is, how far will that get you, right? Because in order to have a mindset shift, you have to be open minded. It's that simple. And to stay in this locked in or locked state of mind, you never grow and you will never succeed. But this is what takes mindset shift to a new level or perspective because whenever you switch your mindset, that's when things start evolving, right? Because people wait for this thing to land in their lap and then they take action. It never works that way. Even in all the years that I've been doing stuff and conquering goals and attacking life, it's always me doing something and then it slowly starts to unfold. So, your current mindset can kind of get in your way to where this is one of those things that you have to correct it from the beginning. And in all my videos that I speak about, I always say mindset is the first thing you need. It's kind of like whenever you have a test coming up, right? If you're not in that well rested state of mind, and just whether you studied your notes and just prepared the best you can for that test, then you've already lost because it's the mindset of going in to take the test, right? If you are amped up, if you are ready to go, if you've done everything on your end to succeed and get the 100 perfect score, then you will get it because it's a mindset thing, I keep saying. And, those who just go in there casually and say, well, I'm just going to try. And it's okay. I get it. I get the whole perspective of you did your best, but you have to be mentally ready and mentally prepared to attack your goals and including that test. So a lot of people get into this mindset situation that they're never going to succeed. They're never going to, go out and date. They're never going to buy a house. They're never going to get a job. Yes, you keep telling yourself that all that's going to happen because it's not a way of words. Bruce Lee put it that your words are the most powerful thing because they, articulate to the universe what you want. And I kind of believe that because it's really you speaking on your self conscious of what you can and cannot do. So, Henry Ford said it best, whether you think you can or can't, you're right. Leads us to the next rule, which is the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, right? So, the difference between fixed mindset and growth mindset, I kind of hit on it on the first rule. The fixed mindset is this is the way we have always done it. This is the way my family is. This is the way we've always, it's sort of this hard shell of stubbornness, right? Because you ever meet that person that just you don't want to hang around with them because they always talk about the same thing over and over and over again. But at the same time, they're really not speaking anything in general, right? Because they're never growing, they're never learning. Remember, you have to always remain a student in this world. I don't care how smart you are, whether you know every single answer, you are constantly growing until the day, you pretty much die. But, fixed mindset is one of those things that I think people get evolved and then they just stop trying. So in the end, they don't want to try anymore. And they get stuck in this pattern of, well, why should I even try? Why should I even bother? And I don't think your body and most important, your mind is made for that. Your mind is made for creativity to go out and succeed and conquer and do your best because you don't know who you are until you push yourself, right? And the great analogy I use is it's like someone saying, I want to get fit, but I don't want to exercise. The logic isn't there. You have to work out. You have to have resistance in order to grow. So, back to the fixed mindset. The opposite of that is growth mindset. What is growth mindset? Growth mindset is in the word of expanding, just being open minded, learning, reading, taking other people's perspective, just like this video, right? The fact that we're able to talk about it and see things from different angles can help you unlock your best potential. But growth mindset really starts with you, right? If you're out and about and you're actually loving life, taking action, doing mistakes, learning from those mistakes, uh, you know, not being scared to fail, you will succeed more than any other person out there because you are taking action. It's not about judging or situations and then creating scenarios in your head. It's growth mindset. You are actually learning things and then learning from those mistakes if you make mistakes. But growth mindset is one of those situations to where it's a muscle. You have to learn, you have to create, you have to get better at it. And just like Kaizen, 1% better every day. You cannot go wrong with that. But let's move on to the next rule. Stop waiting and start creating opportunities. Once again, take action. Take action is the key word here because we become fixated in our mind. Get out of your head. Stop creating fake scenarios in your head because 80% of the time it never happens, right? That's a good chunk. And whenever you do something and you expect something and it doesn't happen, then it leads to disappointment, but understand that that was not the way it was supposed to happen, right? And it's okay because your mind, you are not your thoughts. Your thoughts kind of give this roundabout predictability of what it thinks it's going to do. But then when you take action and things unfold and actually things can get better, then your world changes because now you just accept it. And I don't want to get off to a tangent to where you cannot understand what I'm trying to say, but you know, sometimes you just have to create the opportunity. People sit in the corner or in their room or in their closet. Hopefully, you're not sitting in the closet, but they're waiting and wishing, right? Wishing upon a star. And if that's what they're used to, then that's what they're going to go back to, right? Self loathing kind of behavior. But it really is creating opportunities, right? If you say you plan to get married, how do you get married if you don't date people, right? You have to go through that step. But, for somebody who doesn't want to create the opportunity of getting married, they're just going to say, nope. They're going to land in my lap. And one day I'm going to meet, someone and we're going to live happily ever after. It doesn't work that way. Get that out of your head. So you have to start creating opportunities. And this is with anything. Gym, whether you want to get fit, healthy, rich, poor, it doesn't matter. It's always correcting your mindset first because your mind is so powerful. It makes your body move, and at the same time, it can make this universe move. That is the issue. That is the way to look at how your body works. And the thing is, once you start testing your mind, right? Let's say, you're like, I want to do this mile-and-a-half run, right? Let's do baby steps. Or you could just go in there cold turkey and say, listen, I did the best I can. What did I learn? And how do I attack it next time? That mindset right there is so powerful because it's one of those things that nothing's going to get in your way and you're able to learn and adapt. So you have to stop waiting and start creating opportunities for you. And that is the main rule there. But the next rule we focus on is discomfort is necessary for growth. Listen, nobody likes to be in a space that's uncomfortable. We all like our AC. We all like warm beds. We all like the full belly. Yes, but nothing ever grows there, right? What does this mean? This means that if you stay comfortable, you sort of killing your ambition, your goals, your dreams because you're pretty much putting up the white flag and saying, "Hey, I'm done. I'm good. I'm just waiting to die. And that is the wrong way of looking at things, because it's okay to rest and repair and just don't forget to get back in the game, right? Don't wait in the sidelines too much. It's okay to rest, especially when you are burned out and you're out of energy and things happen that way because you are giving it your all. That's okay. That's what I'm saying. That's okay. But it's not okay to be surrounded or have a lifestyle of just comfort, right? Like there is nothing that's going to grow there. I will tell you this personal is that, when I grew up poor, nobody nobody feels sorry for you. But on top of that, like it's one of those things that you have to take the initiative and say, well, okay, this sucks. I don't want to do this no more. Let me try something new. And I've gotten so far to where, college, law school, stuff like that. It's just you really have to go through this journey and really test your mind, because you got to see how far you're able to accomplish your goals, and just having the correct mindset will do that. But discomfort is necessary for growth. What does this mean? Back to my gym analogy, right? If you want to build muscles, if you want to get strong in that marathon, you have to do more reps. Get the reps in. This is how you grow. And you need resistance in order to grow. And it's the same thing with, personal growth. The fact that, if everything was comfortable, then nothing would be accomplished in this world, right? Because everybody lives on comfort. But to end the rule on that one is, you know, growth is exactly the way the word is. It requires growth. So whether you're growing up or you're growing down, you're growing. It doesn't matter. It's kind of like time. Time does not stop. It's infinite. Doesn't matter. It's what you do with the time, right? And so with growth, it's one of those things that you're going to grow to be a bigger, better, stronger person, or you're going to grow to be a weaker, small minded, narrow minded person. It's just that's the way it is, and your brain is not made to sit there and idle. It's meant there to like create goals and not fantasies, but just things that you love to do, right? Have a passion for, and just do it. It doesn't matter, because it's really on you. You are the main actor in the play. That's the best way I could put it. But discomfort is necessary for growth. You're gonna have ups, you're gonna have downs, you're gonna have in betweens. Expect it. It's normal. And then when you need help, just ask somebody, right? I think we become so fixated on I'm embarrassed, or this is not who I am. I don't need help. That's just a bunch of BS. But growth mindset requires a good teacher, right? Every good teacher had was a student once, and they learned from someone else. And it's the same thing, the same uh, law of the universe, right? You have to learn and engage and grow to develop yourself. Now, the last rule is mental shift that can change everything. All right, here we go. So, this mental shift is the one that can change your world overnight. And it's pretty much positivity, right? I hate to say that, because I was one of those negative Nancy's to where, like, yeah, whatever, shut up, that don't work. But when you actually try it, whether it's minimal or maximum, right? You kind of say, well, listen, I'm tired of being in this situation. Let me think the opposite of this. What will happen? That in itself is the best way of thinking, because not only are you open, right, to what can happen, but you will slowly see your mind start to train itself, because the things that you looked at in negative will slowly turn positive. It's the cup half empty, half full, right? You can choose to say half empty, or you can choose to say half full. It doesn't matter. It's your perspective. The thing with positivity is that once you get it going, it's this momentum of training your mind of how to see things in a positive light and helping others. Oh man, you are unstoppable, because not only will people look up to you and say, "Hey man, I want what you want." I mean, I want what you got, because positivity is just one of those things that I kind of think it gets bastardized in the society, right? It's like a negative thing. Oh, he's super positive. It's like, well, go ahead, be super negative, but in the end, I think it comes down to your mindset. And this is where mindset shift happens because once you try it and you have a win, you're like, okay, interesting. And you keep doing it and doing it. And then it just applies to your relationships, it applies to your life, it applies to your health because your mind can be the strongest or it could be the meanest thing to you, right? It can tear you down and it can lie to you or it can actually lift you up. But positivity is one of those things that it takes practice, right? I can't just give it to you and you're healed. You have to do it consistently, you have to do it realistically and pragmatically, but positivity just really takes your perspective and looks at it at a different angle. That's all it is. And once you do this, once you unlock this, you want more. You want it to stay with you because that's just the person you developed yourself into. So, that's probably the most important mindset shift you can have is just perspective because just like I quote Big Sean in a song. He just says, everything's a blessing depending on the angle. And he's 100% true because whether you think, let me give you a simple example is the guy who has the car, he's like, man, I wish I had a bigger, fancier car. Well, guess what? The guy who's riding a bike is wishing he had your basic car, right? And then the guy who says, "Man, I hate that I'm in a bike. I want a car. I hate my life." Okay, well, there's somebody walking, right? Wishing they had a bike. And it's always that way because now you're looking at it at three different angles here. And it's all about perspective because everything is a blessing depending on the angle. The fact that you have air in your lungs, you have your two legs, there's some people out there that don't even have that, are in a hospital bed. And it's just more of being grateful because it puts you in the present moment of what you truly have, right? That you've been looking at this equation all wrong. So it's mindset shift, it's perspective, but it's very gratefulness of your life and the way you think. But let me know in the comments what you think. I hope you took value from this video because I get amped up when I talk this way because I want you to see the way I saw things. I was in a negative space and now I just live my life accordingly because that was just more training. Now it's just like you're just applying the law. You're applying the rule all the time. And yes, you do get bumped off, but you get back on. And I think that took years of practice because you understand that your lowest point is not your lowest point. You're gonna rebound, and your highest point, guess what? You're not gonna stay there that long. But mindset shift is one of those things that everybody has to develop this character, and it's sort of building the superhero mentality. But if you have the correct mind shift in this world, then you can accomplish anything you set your mind to, period. I don't care what guru's out there saying, if you understand that rule, you can do anything. But let me know what you want to hear. Leave a message. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think this is all juju or BS and stuff like that? And I like to surf the internet and see what they say about self-help and all this stuff, but the thing is I can testify to this because I've applied it in my life, right? I've done things that no one else have done and I've gotten myself out of the hole. So I know it works, right? You don't have to convince me or apply. It's like it's been done. So now I just want to share with the world. But as always, we will speak soon. Stay positive. Remember, you are the only person that can get in your way. Until next time, we will speak soon.